I'm John Jacob Mubarak, and it's Thursday, and it's Walking the Path, and I'm super grateful to be here. I'm super grateful for this moment, and I want to start in prayer. So let's just open up. Let's just open up this thing with a prayer. Hey, Susan, good to see you. All right. So if you can close your eyes, just join me for a minute. Turn away from the world and all the busyness and all the people and all the things, and turn inward. And just join me in being grateful, just grateful to be alive, grateful for all of life, for all its ups and downs, for everything, what fits my picture, what doesn't, because I know that everything is happening for me. I know that everything always works out. So even if it doesn't look good, even if the circumstance or condition are opposite of that, I know it's always tending, moving, expanding for goodness, for my good and your good. So I'm grateful for everything. Grateful. I'm grateful for the lessons. I'm grateful for the blessings. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to have something to eat. I'm grateful to have food. I'm grateful to have water, clean water. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful to have a wonderful place where I can serve called Rythmia. I'm grateful for all my clients, all the people I get to work with. Oh my goodness, I'm grateful for all the referrals. I'm grateful for my teachers. I'm grateful for all the teachings. I'm grateful. Feel something that you're grateful for. Just join me in feeling grateful for something that you're really grateful for from any time in your life. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for agape. I'm grateful. And in this gratitude, I recognize God, this presence, not some person that's outside of me, looking down on me, but a presence, a consciousness, a field, a unified field of love and beauty and intelligence and order and balance and harmony and creativity and excellence. I recognize the divine presence everywhere. I know it's everywhere. It's in me. It's in the cells of my body. It's in the photosynthesis of the trees. It's in the planets, in the way they orbit around the sun. It's in the farthest reaches of the galaxy and the universe. And it's in the smallest recesses of my cells and the atoms of my body. There's intelligence in me and all around me. And I know that is the presence of God within me and all around me. The creative energy in me and all around me, the creative power that's in me and all around me. And I'm one with it. And you're one with it. We can't be separate. We are the thing itself. I am that which thou art that which I am. One with life. So from this oneness, I know that this walking the path, it's the best walking the path ever. That something wonderful is happening. That there's insights, downloads, revelations, new ways of seeing, new ways of speaking, shifts in perception, ways of being open. Something's being released, something's being let go of, something seeking to emerge. It's all happening now. It's under the auspices of this beautiful Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, whatever live it is, it's live. And I'm here and we're here. And I know that it's powerful. I know that it's profound. I know that it's serving. I know that it's loving. I know that it's healing. I know it's the best walking the path ever. So I'm going to get in the back seat and let the presence, the spirit of intelligence and love and beauty and joy and harmony and balance and order and excellence and creativity, I'm letting that drive the show. Let's see where it goes. But wherever it goes, I know it's going to be great. And so it is. Amen. All right. Well, if anybody's left after that, thanks for staying. Thanks for sticking around. I'm glad you're here. So, I needed to pray in because, hey, Colette, great to see you in Facebook world. Tracy and Susan and Alan, great to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. This is Jueves Santo, Holy Thursday in the Catholic tradition. It's the day before, hey, now Willie. I'm so great to see you. And so today's Thursday and Easter's coming up, and I was racking my brain about what I wanted to share today, what was seeking to come through. And it came through that it's reflexive. That's the title of the talk, reflexivity. But before we get into reflexivity, let's talk about a quick little word about rythmia. And now a message from our sponsor, um, Rhythmia, because I'm doing this. I get to do this every week on Rhythmia's YouTube and Facebook Live, and as well, because Rhythmia is this wonderful life advancement center where people from all walks of life come to see who they've become, to merge with their soul, and to heal their heart. And it is truly miraculous. And I get to be there every week and witness miracles, healings, people seeing exactly what we're going to be talking about today, reflexivity. That what they thought was their worst thing, what they thought was the biggest heartbreak, what they thought was the biggest guilt, what they thought was the biggest story of how they were put upon and pushed down, becomes their biggest story of victory, from victim to victory. That's what Rhythmia is about. And it happens because people begin to come back to their soul. They merge back together with their soul and they heal something. And then they can go back into the world and be their most authentic self. So if you're interested in Rhythmia and you're on Facebook or YouTube, there's a number on the screen. If you're on Instagram, you can look at rythmia.com and check it out. And it's truly miraculous. So, what are some of the things that I see all the time at Rhythmia? One of them is about the reflexive nature of the universe. And this is actually a spiritual principle, that the universe is reflective, that it's reflecting and revealing something back to us, just like the medicine and just like relationships, that all relationships are sacred mirrors reflecting and revealing the areas within us that are seeking to be healed. Let me say that again. All relationships, this was a wonderful workshop that Reverend Michael gave. All relationships are sacred mirrors reflecting and revealing the areas within us that are seeking to be healed. And I would say the same thing is that you have a relationship with the medicine when you drink plant medicine, and it's reflecting and revealing the areas within us that are seeking to be healed. And that all of life, the universe itself, is reflecting and revealing the areas within us that are seeking to be healed. So, from that perspective, everything is happening for us. Everything is happening for our best and highest good. How? Well, I've been wondering if I should share this or not, but I'm going to share it in a really broad way. But I think that some of the most important things that I can share are things that are real and things that are up for me. Um, you know, because I think that's what everybody's going through. I think everybody's going through stuff, no matter where you're at on your spiritual path. Um, Being on a spiritual path doesn't mean life is perfect and everything is unicorns and rainbows, because life is life. And we all have areas within us that are seeking to be healed. No matter how much work you've done, there's always an expansion of consciousness. Consciousness is infinite, and it's an infinite expansion of consciousness. We're never done. The minute we think we're done, we're done. Like, did that make sense? The minute you think, the biggest barrier to learning is thinking you already know. So the minute I think I already know something is the minute that I'm closed. So it's infinite. All right. So what happened for me this week? Um, Something happened in a relationship and it didn't feel really good. And this isn't about, because, it's so easy when things happen in relationships to want to be right or wrong, or to find fault and to secure my own position as being right. The truth is I'm right, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. So the truth is that there's like what's happening and how we feel about it, which is real, right? We want to honor our feelings. Our feelings are gig lamps that lead us to uh, what's going on inside of us. They're like precious, and we need to pay attention to them, but not be reactive from them. So we want to honor how we're feeling. And then we can expand out from a situation and see, how is this for me? How is this reflecting something back to me? So recently, uh, 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 someone I would consider a dear friend, did something that didn't feel really good to me. And I kind of questioned that person on it. And there was a reaction. And they reacted and kind of spewed some stuff back to me. And it was very hurtful. And yet, and I found myself wanting to be mad. I found myself wanting to be right. I found myself wanting to get into the minutia of the situation and talk about where that was fucked up and this was okay, and that wasn't right, and to defend and protect and shield myself. So the first thing was to notice how I'm feeling and to not deny my feelings. Hey, brother Jeff, what's up, man? To not deny my feelings. Our feelings are real. And then as the cool thing is I moved through this in like a day, like less than 24 hours. But that was the cool thing, because when this sort of thing happened to me before, it would take a long time for me to move through this. But I moved through this in less than 24 hours. So it was like, here's what got reflected and revealed back to me in a situation that happened. One was I got to look at my comparison, how I was comparing myself, and to see the areas within me that were seeking to be healed. The biggest area within me that was seeking to be healed was a part of me that wants to be liked, that needs to be liked, right? Which is fine. We all have that. I think mine's on, steroids, but that's okay. So that part of me that wants to be liked doesn't want to do anything that would have somebody not like me. And that puts me in contradiction with my own emotional body, which is saying, hey, that didn't feel very good. And there's a wobble there. There's a dissonance there. So the biggest lesson for me, when the situation happened, I got hurt. I honored my emotional body. I checked in and it was like, well, what am I hurt about? Well, I'm hurt about these things. Okay. It's okay that I can be hurt about those things. And then what did my emotional body need? What do I need? Right? What does my emotional body need? Well, I need to be, oh my God, I checked in. My emotional body wants to feel liked. My emotional body wants to feel safe. My emotional body wants to feel like I belong. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's what this is about. All right. This is independent of what the person did, because at one part, my emotional body is like, that didn't feel good. I need to honor that. That doesn't feel like what a friend does. I need to honor that. That doesn't make me feel safe. So I'm going to honor that, right? I need to honor that. And then I'm not going to get stuck in it. Now, what's the lesson in it for me? What is it reflecting back to me? Oh, my need to be liked and to feel safe almost prevents me from speaking my emotional truth. That didn't feel good. That doesn't make me feel safe. That's not what how I think friendship works, right? So it's like, it's completely divorced from the right or wrong of the situation. Like, whatever the right or wrong is, I felt this way and I feel this way. And guess what? It's valid because I feel this way. Now I'm moving completely away from the other person. It doesn't matter, right? Like, that person doesn't matter anymore in this situation, because now I'm taking it from there to what is for me in this? What is this reflecting back to me? What is this revealing back to me? What areas in me want to be brought to the light? What areas in me want to be healed? And now has nothing to do with the other person. Everything is working together for our good. Everything is working together to help me and you heal something in us. And these were old patterns of needing to be liked and needing to belong. Those are basic human needs, right? There's nothing wrong with wanting to be liked or wanting to belong. But I get to look at that and go, oh, all right. Can I sit? And here's all you have to do. And it's what we know. We know this. You got to be with it. You got to sit with it. Okay, true. Something shifted in this particular situation for me where I got to really observe, oh, wow, look, I'm doing that again. Look at me not wanting to rock the boat because I want people to like me. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, guess what? It's going to be uncomfortable, but I'm going to actually speak what's up for me, even if it means that somebody doesn't like me. That's growth. That's expansion. That's honoring my feeling and emotional body. That's being in touch with myself, what I need, what I want, what I desire, what I deserve. And if you're lucky enough, you have a person on the other side that will respond and work with you. Like that's what kind of relationships that really work for me, how I want people to relate to me, is that I get to share what I'm feeling and we get to work it out together. And that's the hope. Sometimes people aren't there, and that's okay. And then you get to work it out on your own without that person. But either way, it's all happening for me. It's all happening for you. So as I honor my emotional body, check in with my feelings. What is my emotional body asking for? Oh, to feel like I belong, to feel like I'm liked and included and loved. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not getting that from anybody else. That's got to come from me. So what do I need? What does my emotional body need in order to come into alignment with that realization that I belong, that I'm liked and that I'm loved, and because I love me, because I like me, because I'm okay as I am, independent, really, really, really independent of whether other people like me or not. And as easy as that sounds, it's freaking hard. It's hard. It's really, really hard for me. I don't know if it's hard for you, but it's hard for me to to speak what what's up for me, what's real for me. It's not speaking my truth, right? I don't really like that. I'm speaking my truth. Okay, well, it's true for you. That's great. But it feels more that, but it has that like truth. Uh, um, that's a truth with a small t. So I'd rather say, rather than I'm speaking my truth, is I'm going to share with you what's up for me, how I feel. That's honoring. That's really what's true. It's how I feel, and um, how I feel is valid. How I feel matters. So I get to speak how I feel, and if I'm lucky, I have a person who cares enough about me and is open and mature enough to go, oh, that's how you feel. Okay, let me tell you how I feel, and let's talk about it, and let's listen to each other, and then make sure we're understanding each other. There's a great technique that I like to use called perception checking. And if you're lucky enough, you can find someone that'll do this with you. Perception checking is cumbersome, but it's an outstanding way to make sure that you're listening and the other person is listening and you're heard and the other person is heard. It goes like this. I have something to say to you. So I say it and you have to listen to me until I'm done speaking. And then when I'm finished speaking, you have to repeat back to me what I said until I agree that that's what I said. And then you can respond with what you want to say. And I have to listen to you and let you finish. And when you're done, I have to repeat back to you what I heard you say to me until you agree. Yes, that's what I said. And then I get to respond to what you say. It's slow, but an amazing capacity to de-escalate situations and to make sure, like when I do that, I actually, as I'm repeating back, I really understand the other person in a much better way. It's like, oh, I understand what you're saying. Okay, I can see that. All right, now let me tell you, it's a great way to speak what's up for you, how you're feeling, and to not get caught up in the emotional, you know, upswell, updraft of a certain situation where things get to escalate. So, um, so everything is reflective, whether it's the medicine, whether it's a relationship, whether it's the universe. Everything that's happening to us is happening to because it's reflecting something back to me or to you that's seeking to be healed. Um, what else do I want to say about this? I think that's it. I think that's our talk for today. I have an example. I have an example that's kind of funny. Another example of how this really works. Let's see. Back in the day, this is years and years and years ago. Um, I was at Agape. I was still living in LA. I was at Agape, and Reverend Arlene, this phenomenal Reverend at Agape, she was my sponsor for initiation into the Sacred Order of the Practitioners. Um, and Reverend Arlene would host these vegan fasts. at Lent and at Ramadan. And this was a Lenten fast. And we'd get together and we'd fast, and then we'd have phone calls every day in the morning. We'd do a reading and a prayer, and then we would partner up with somebody for the 40-day period, and we would pray with that person. So we'd have our group call and then an individual prayer call, and we'd have prayer partners. So when Reverend Arlene started this, we would meet at one of the classrooms at Agape, and I walked in one day and sat down next to one of my friends who was in the choir, and she and I were sitting next to each other, and Reverend Arlene said, "Okay, we're going to pick our prayer partners for the 40-day period. Whoever turn to your right, and the person to your right is your prayer partner." So it was my friend from choir, and we decided that's cool. And that year for Lent, I was giving up weed. I gave up weed for Lent that year. This was like 10 years ago. And so this lady, M, we'll call her M, she and I prayed together every day. We liked praying together so much. And I gave up weed for the whole time. We liked praying together so much that at the end of the 40-day period, Easter, which is coming up, that was the end of the 40 days, we decided we want to keep praying with each other. So we kept praying. Well, I went back to smoking weed. And one day, not very soon after, she sent me a text and said, I can't be your prayer partner anymore because I'm 30 years sober, or whatever many years it was. And it's very triggering for me to be around people who are using. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, I'm praying with you on the phone. Secondly, I'm not like pulling a bong while like, okay, so it is, like and I felt so judged. This is why it's important to pay attention to your emotional body. I feel so judged. So I text her. I feel so judged. First of all, I can't believe you broke up with me on text. Secondly, I feel judged. And then I didn't talk to her anymore because I felt so judged. I was like, well, I'm going to judge you back. So we were there judging each other, and I had to see her like 2 times a week in choir practice because I was in the Agape choir at the time. And so I'd see her and, hi, how are you? Good to see you. Hi, bitch. Like total church lady shit, right? Total church lady. And this went on for a year. And I didn't want to really be around her. And I'm sure she didn't really want to be around me. The next year, next Lent, next Easter season, Reverend Arlene does the fast. I'm joining. And we were walking into the opening ceremony because we met at a classroom at Agape. And M is over there and I'm over here. And we walk in and we go to opposite sides of the room because we're not going to be sitting next to each other. That year, Reverend Arlene said, hey, we're going to pick prayer partners a different way this year. I put all your names into a hat and I'm drawing names. And guess who I got drawn with? M. That's right. Same person. Spirit has a sense of humor. And the universe is always reflecting back to us the areas within us that are seeking to be healed. And so I had to think that, holy shit, I got to pray with this person and I don't really like her. And I feel judged by her. And I've been holding on to this for a year. And then I realized if the universe is reflective, what is it reflecting back to me? What area of me is seeking to be healed? Well, what do you know? It's my own judgment. It was she was just her judgment. What did I feel? First thing I felt was judged because I was judging myself for my relationship with marijuana. So it's always 100% of the time right on point. It's like that old saying, when you got a finger pointing at you, if you point the finger at somebody, you got 3 pointing back at you. So doesn't make right or wrong. We're not talking about right or wrong. And how you feel, how I feel about a situation is valid because we're feeling it. Doesn't mean like, yeah, it was kind of fucked up that she broke up with me on text. And no, I wasn't, okay, she was triggered. That's her. I don't know why. I wasn't smoking in front of her. Her just knowing that I smoked weed. Like, well, she knew I smoked weed before, right? So why would she hang around with me? So anyway, the universe is always reflecting back to us the areas within us that are seeking to be healed. Check it out in your life. See if it rings true for you. I'm so grateful that I got to share. Thank you, Spirit, for fulfilling the intention that we set at the beginning of this talk, to have something wonderful happened. And I trust that something wonderful happened for you. So I'm just sending you a big love, un abrazo fuerte, un beso grande. And I hope to see you next week. Peace and blessings.